Hello, I'm Corey.
And I'm Kelly.
How's it going?
And we're Unleashed. He's my little brother. I'm the older sister. So it's my turn to start. I wanted to congratulate us because we have made it to 102 episodes.
Wow.
That is truly in the creative world, with YouTube and everything. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for people to make it to 100 episodes. I mean, it truly is.
It's consistency for sure.
And that's what my thought was, is that I feel almost for really the first time in my life, I've really been consistent, truly showing up. I mean, we've shown up every week. I mean, there may have been a time whenever you've gone out of town or whatever, but we've just been really consistent through it all, through sickness, through you relapsing, through times we don't want to, we committed, and it's something that's bigger than us, and we've been consistent with it. And so I just wanted to yay us.
Congratulations.
Congratulate us. Truly, it really is. I think that we need to recognize our accomplishments in this life, whenever we're doing things that we're progressing.
That's exciting.
I think it really is. It's really a good thing. So that was one thing that I've been thinking about. I've been experiencing a lot of stuff over the past few weeks. Something that Corey said as he was praying, because we always pray before we start this, because we don't want it to be us. We want to say what people need to hear. And as he was talking, he said something about knowledge, and it made me think about something that has come to me 2 times over the past week, is that as we gain and we receive knowledge, it helps us to make better choices. Whenever we're just living life and we're just going about our day and we're just living kind of on autopilot, we just continue to make the same choices. We just continue to do the same things without even knowing what it's, and without even being aware of really what it's doing to us or how things are affecting us. And as we begin to gain knowledge, it gives us choices. It gives us opportunities to change. I think a lot of times what happens in life is that we get sick, we hit bottoms, we experience these extreme things that bring us to a place where it's we're in the dark and we're in pain and we're suffering, and it's we can continue doing what we're doing and we're going to stay in this, or we become aware that something needs to change. And that is a spark. That is a moment of, I need something different. And that is usually where we begin to seek, and we start to gain knowledge. We start to want to understand, why am I sick? What changes can I make? What can I do differently in my life to help me feel better, to help me to improve, to get out of wherever it is that I am? And I've been on that. I've been seeking knowledge. I want to know, how can I be the healthiest I can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What do I need to do? And what is so amazing, it is so amazing, whenever we get to the point where we're show me, what do I need to do? He takes us, he shows us. And it is so incredible, because he will bring us down paths that we never would have thought. Why? Why am I even... Corey and I were just having a conversation. He's been learning all this stuff and he has no idea why. But now he does. He just found out why. And it's God brings us down these paths to learn things for ourselves. He brings us to people that we're able to learn from and gain knowledge from, and And as we gain this knowledge, it just opens us up to being able to choose better. We don't have to. We can stay where we are. We can receive that knowledge and take it in, because I've done this a lot my whole life as well. Like, I've read all the books about self-help, and I've just read so much stuff, but I've not understood how to internalize it. I haven't, maybe wasn't like in a place where I was able to change what needed to be changed within me, but I've had the knowledge. And I think a lot of times we're so stuck in just the way that we are, that we have so many processes within us. We have so many, like denial. We have a lot of self-sabotaging. We have a lot of programs and patterns that run us automatically that are sometimes very difficult to change and to overcome, because we don't even know they're there. They just run us. And until we get into a place of like, show me everything that I need to see in order to be the best for you, he does. And it's very gradual, and he's not going to give it to us all at one time, because it's not healthy for us, and he wants us to be the healthiest we can be. And so it's so interesting, because I catch myself, it's like a spiral. I had, we shared a video ways back about trust. And, I had been really in my scriptures learning about trust, and like, we're not supposed to trust the arm of flesh, and man, and all that kind of stuff. And I had come to an understanding about trust, and I received understanding, revelation. I received like this understanding for myself. Well, I moved on to other topics, other things in my life, and it's so interesting how over the past couple weeks, it's like I said, it's like a spiral. We just wrap around, and whenever we're ready to learn more, when we're ready to deepen our understanding about things, it'll be triggered up again. Like, things will happen that will bring us into deepening our understanding. And so that has happened to me over this past week with trust. And yesterday I was able to have a conversation in my women's group about trust, and it's brought up some things about me to ponder and to think about. And I'm like, well, maybe the things that I said in the last video, I don't know. I'm now in this place where I'm seeking and I'm searching to understand trust, because I have trust issues within me, and God is showing me once again, where I can trust more, how I can trust him more. And it's just, I love the way that life is this spiral, that it's constantly showing us things. And as we're seeking knowledge, as we're seeking understanding, and we're seeking growth, he shows us gradually and gently, and to help us to become more, so that he can use us. I don't know. There's some thoughts.
That's a lot of great stuff. Just trust alone. While you were saying that, I was thinking, like, what's it really going to hurt if I trust somebody that somebody's going to do something and they don't do it? How's it really going to affect me? Like, okay, now I have to go do it, or I can choose to go do it if I want to get whatever the thing that I wanted done, and they didn't do it. Or if I'm trusting somebody, or I just trust everybody, that I just trust people at their word. How is that going to affect me? It's just not. As long as I'm not attached to it and becoming dependent upon somebody else's word, if somebody tells me something, I can just choose to trust them. Why not? How's it going to hurt me if I choose to trust them? Now, if I'm relying on them and I trust that they're going to do something and it doesn't happen, and then all of a sudden I get these resentments and it hurts me, and I just feel like that's when I've become codependent. That's when I've decided that their behaviors are affecting me because I've chosen to trust them. Well, I'm not putting my trust in them. I'm trusting that they'll do something, but I'm trusting that God's going to take care of it. The outcome is in His hands. So I'm not relying on outcomes. I can still trust people. I mean, I just don't. I have always had trust issues, especially when it comes to females in my life, in relationships. I just always have. And why not just trust somebody and believe that they'll do whatever they'll do? And if they don't, well, they have not let me down. They've let themselves down. And that's something that they need to reconcile with me or God or whatever. I mean, or not even with me, because it hasn't affected me, because I haven't become codependent on that behavior. So I can trust people. I've chosen to just take everybody at their word. And that's coming from an addict who's lied his whole life to get what I want, to manipulate what I want. And it's like, why not just trust people? I don't have to trust in the arm of flesh and rely on people for outcomes. God is in control of my life because I've given it to Him. And so I'm not even trusting in myself, really. All I'm trusting in is doing the next right thing, you know. And when it comes to knowledge, like, yeah, it is so amazing, the process over the last 6 to 9 months or whatever. Like, I don't have any streaming devices anymore. I take that back. The Chosen app, I do watch The Chosen, but I don't spend my time watching all these shows that I used to watch. And, you know, I just have lost interest. And it's not like I've purposefully done this. I just realized that I've lost interest in it. And maybe a show will come around that, you know, there's some shows that I'd probably like to see some more episodes of. So to say that I'm not going to stream anything, I mean, that's not the point. The point is, like, knowledge. Over the last 6 months, I feel like I've learned more this year than I feel like I've learned my entire life. I'm just so passionate about so many things that I don't feel like using my time just vegging out. And on top of that, usually when I'm vegging out on just nonsense, I'm also vegging out on food that's nonsense. And just there's a whole environment to that mentality. And it's like, I mean, I'm thinking about, how can I treat my body better? How can I put better stuff in me? And we just talked about food, but now it's like when you're really getting the food part down and you're really treating your body that way, it's like all of a sudden your mind is clearer, and I'm just wanting to fill my mind with good stuff and stop polluting it. You know, there's just so much garbage, mental garbage that's out there that's like, how am I spending my time? Because I was talking to the elders, LDS missionaries yesterday, and it's like, my weeks disappear so fast, and it's like the only real hour that exists in my life that is just, it's almost like there's a moment that just kind of stands still, and it's during the sacrament hour at church. And that's not a complaint. It's like, I love being there, but it's like those 2 hours that I'm at church are the longest hours of my week. They really are. Like, and they go fast too. But it's like my weeks don't even exist. I find myself sitting in the pew on Sunday, and it's like, wasn't I just here? You know, but during the week I learn so much. There's just so much good stuff in the world. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and he started going off about how World War III and this and that and all just the chaos. And I said, my vision of the future is just abundance and peace and prosperity, and just, it's beautiful. Like what I see coming, not in the future, I mean like what we're living in even now. I just see a transition happening where we are elevating this world, and all of a sudden he stopped and he's like, I actually feel the same way. I've talked to a couple people that have said that, and that's actually what I feel. I feel that way. But he was just going on a tangent about World War III coming and all that because he's been listening to the nonsense. And just one little comment about how I'm seeing things, and all of a sudden he was like, I feel the same way.
Wow, it's so amazing. It's so amazing the way we're so influenced by the things that we're listening to and everything.
Oh,
yeah. I've been. Are you?
Yeah, you're good.
Over the past week, I've recognized that I was just listening to a lot of stuff, a lot of really great stuff, and just a lot of stuff that would come up on my algorithm, and I would just listen to, sometimes, or I recognized, though, that what I was listening to was beginning to really influence, like, my thinking. And it was beginning to influence me in ways that, like, was making me kind of question some things that I already have answers to. Like, I don't need to, like, listen to these people who have these stories and opinions and things that have happened to them, and that has caused them to go directions that I get, I understand, but that's not for me. And as I was, like, taking this information in, I just felt I could feel how it was affecting me, and I was just like, I don't want to listen to this stuff anymore. And I was going to sleep, and I was just, like, kind of praying, like, I just was feeling this confusion kind of in my mind about a lot of stuff. And I had the thought, delete your whole history on YouTube. Because our algorithm, it feeds us certain, whatever we listen to, it feeds us that kind of stuff. And so I felt, I just need to delete it all. And so I did. I immediately just deleted everything, and it just felt good. I was like, okay. I can just start fresh. And I know, it's like, I have such a deep knowledge and deep understanding, and I have such deep faith, and sometimes I'll hear people and it causes me to question stuff, which is wonderful. It's beautiful. Like, it's awesome to have questions. It's awesome to search. We got someone blowing, doing stuff all around us, like a couple people.
Blow away.
But the thing about it is, like, I mean, they are seriously right next to us. You can probably, oh my goodness. I'm just
they are sweating and working. That is for sure. It's all good.
I was gonna show.
Blow away, buddy. Man, that dude is sweating like me. They're good.
It can create doubts within us, and I think whenever we start to have doubts about our knowledge and our understanding of things, that we step back and we have faith in our faith. Someone had said that to me recently, to have faith in your faith. And that has come to me a few times this week, because we can get doubts about things because of things that other people say, because people have such an influence on us. Like you said, like, that guy was just feeding off of stuff that he was hearing, and it was taking him to a place that didn't feel good. It wasn't good. Like, it just, he was seeing the negative. And it's like, whenever we can latch on to negative. There's going to be negative in everything in this world. I mean, because we live in a dualistic world. I mean, we have positive and we have negative. And what are we latching on to? What are we holding on to? What are we feeding our minds with? Are we feeding our minds with with doubt and with people who are putting down stuff and who are negative about stuff and who like just, are we feeding our minds with that? Or do we want to feed our minds with like faith and with positive things and not in a denial kind of way and not in like a bypassing kind of way, but like, is the negative stuff feeding us? Like, is it bringing us higher? Is it helping us to grow? I mean, sometimes those things helps us to question stuff. It helps us to see where our foundation is, you know. But if you have a rocky foundation and you start going into like listening to things that cause even more doubt and more, and it's like, and you get wrapped into the negativity of stuff, catch it.
Yeah.
Because it can bring you into places. It like this world we are in, like Noah's Ark, the waters are surrounding us. We're in the waters. And are we gonna like hold on to the ark? Are we gonna be in the ark? Or are we gonna be in the waters? Like just like swimming our way around, like trying to figure things out, you know? I mean, what is your ark? Like truly, like we need foundation in this world today. I'm so grateful for that. We had a video a few back about revelation, personal revelation. Like we have been told, like we need to have personal revelation. We need to have the Spirit in our lives guiding us today, because there are too many voices out there with so many opinions, and everyone has a story, and everyone has like legit, like this is my experience, this is what happened to me, and it's legit, and we can listen to people's stories and let that sway us, or we can stick to our own story and our own understanding, our own faith, our own what we know for ourselves, and let the Spirit guide us in our life. Let that revelation guide us. That's where it's at. It's our connection with God and wherever He's leading us, whatever that is.
Yeah, I've mentioned this already, but I have a hard time. I will continue to do 12-step stuff, but people are so caught up in their stories of the past and like what happened and what I did. And I mean, I can go there, but it's just not who I am today. It's not who I am. Nothing that's happened to me and nothing that I've done in the past, yesterday and before, is who I am right now. I mean, right now, the only thing that matters is, am I learning? Am I progressing? Am I growing? Am I connecting with a higher frequency than I was yesterday? Is my body growing healthier? Is my mind growing healthier? Am I latching on to positivity? How am I vibrating with my environment? And if I'm pouring garbage into my mind, like I had something pop up on my thing today, and I'm not familiar with the whole Palestine and the whole Hamas and the people in the U.S. that are doing all the crazy stuff at the Capitol. I have no clue about it. But it popped up on my feed today, and I was like, what is going on in the world? Because I am in this bubble of happiness and peace and a vision of how wonderful it's going to be when everybody gets on the boat and decides that they're tired of swimming in the water. It's just going to be amazing. The world we're living in right now is so amazing. And like I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine the other day, and he's all into the politics, and I'm just like, dude, there is so much abundance, there is so much, and it's so funny how people just make assumptions of who I am because I'm LDS, because I go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I have certain beliefs, and it's like, I am Corey Powell, if I want to give myself a name, but I am who I am. I am just me. And to say that I have any beliefs because I'm part of a group of people, it's just nonsense. Like, I am so for taking care of the needy and the homeless and people that do not have. I am so for the welfare program, but I'm also for lifting people up and not keeping them stuck down. And the only way to do that is knowledge, is to spread knowledge and to help people gain a desire to be happy, to love other people, instead of fighting against a system, embracing what is all around us, the beauty that is all around us. I mean, I have been on that pink cloud for so long now that it's just absolutely, the world is so beautiful. That we are so blessed to live in such a wonderful time of knowledge, equality of knowledge. Anybody can learn anything they want if they want to take the time to learn it. Any topic, you can become an expert in anything in today's world. You have every single bit of knowledge at the tips of your fingers. You can do anything you want in today's world, no matter the color of your skin, no matter the sex you are or what you claim to be. It doesn't matter. Everybody has equal opportunity in today's world. I'm not trying to say that there isn't stuff in the world that causes some people strife, difficulties, but I really believe that most of it, the majority of it, is the stories that people tell themselves. The stories that people continue to propagate, or whatever the word is, just to continue stay stuck in that generation after generation after generation of my ancestors were slaves, therefore I am. My ancestors were driven out and sent to Salt Lake City, therefore I've been persecuted, or whatever. I mean, we have all been slaves once upon a time. Every single type of person living today at one time probably has ancestors that were slaves, or impoverished, or massacred, or whatever. I mean, we all have stories that we can tell ourselves and be stuck in, but I just don't have them. All I have is today and the knowledge that I have the opportunity to grow and just line upon line, precept upon precept. I just choose to continue to grow and learn and treat my body better. It's awesome. It's an awesome world we live in.
It's really interesting. The group that I was in yesterday, we did this thing where we looked at, like, we had 3 different columns. One was being a victim, a survivor, and a thriver. And we looked at each word and we talked about, like, all the different, what is it like to be a victim? What are all the words that go along with being a victim? And then, we did that for each column. And it was so interesting to look at these columns and to see where I am, and to see, like, just the way that so many people, we get so stuck in being a victim. And that is where I've lived it, and so I can say, like, I recognize it. Like, that is where we get caught in our stories. That's where we get caught in having to share our stories all the time. Like, and not share our stories to help people, like, but whenever we're attached to our story,
vomit.
and we need people to feel sorry for us, and it's like there's this thing that, yes, there's this energy in it where I need people to validate that I am a victim, so that I could stay in this victim, so that I don't have to, like, take responsibility and accountability for my life. Like, if I stay small in this victim, then it's everyone else's fault, and I can, and it's just, there's so much to being a victim. And the sad thing about it is, like, so many people are in that state in this world that we live in. It's being a victim of the system, being a victim of religion, being a victim of government, being a victim of a race, being a victim of like just so many things. And it's a whole mindset. And that is where, whenever a person, that's where people have to hit a bottom. Being a victim, like you're tired of being a victim. And when you get tired of being a victim, you no longer want to stay in the depression, the anxiety, the pain, the suffering, the blame, the just all of it, the complaining, the sickness, just all of it, all of that negative, painful state. Like, until you're able, like, if you're ready to get out of it, become aware that you were in it. Recognize and admit that I am being a victim. I have this mentality and I don't want to be that way anymore. How can I change? I want to change. Show me where to change. And that is like, whenever we say those words, show me, that is where the light comes in. That is where we are pierced and we can change. We start seeking. We want different. We want growth. And that is whenever our heart begins to open to be able to recognize all these things about ourselves, that we have kept ourselves a victim. Yeah. Like, it's just amazing. And and many of us truly are victims.
Have been or possibly still are.
Absolutely. Like, I have experienced in my life, I have been a victim, and it has kept me in patterns, and it has created behaviors. It has caused me to have ways of thinking and perceiving this world and being in relationships with people. And whenever I hit a rock bottom and I realized so much, I decided I need to change this. I want to do something different. And I stepped into the work, because it is work. It is work to change who we are. It doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, maybe miraculously there are people that it does, but I don't know of anyone that like, who has been in addiction, who has been in codependency, who has been in so much stuff we just experience a lot in our lives. And it takes waking up, becoming aware of it, and wanting change. And no one in this world is going to do it for you. No one can show you. No one can, we can, I mean, how many times have we put you in rehab? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you've been to jail, and you've been to all these things. But until we hit a bottom and we open ourselves up to asking, like, I surrender fully, show me. And he does. And it's just amazing. And he brings us to the knowledge. He brings us to what we need. He brings us to the people. He just, all of it is so amazing and so exciting. And it's like, I love it. I love my life today. I love that over the past few weeks, I have been in a fire. Like, that's the only way that I can explain it. I've had so many things happen and so many experiences. Like, I could write a book just about the last 2 weeks.
Do it.
And it's like, I'll share one thing. Like, I had an experience where I'm dealing with a lot of worthiness issues, and this could be like a whole topic, a whole nother video, but I'll share it here because I think that, I don't know, maybe it could help someone. I was writing about some stuff that happened in the past, and I had this visual come to my mind of having this rock. It's like this stone that was just deep in my core, and on this stone was etched unworthy. And I've had this within me from the time that I was a child. Like, it was placed there as a child, that I was unworthy. And so there has been nothing in my entire life that I've ever been able to do, accomplish, nothing I've never felt worthy ever in my life, because that was placed there. And as I was sitting there writing and I was feeling that there, I could see and visualize that there was just fire surrounding this stone. And it was like the fire of the Holy Spirit was burning it away and showing me like I am worthy, and it's like burning that rock into like a diamond. Like I'm a diamond, and that is what I have within me. But the adversary, the negative in this world, those voices want to tell us differently, and they attach to us as children to confuse us and to make us question ourselves, make us question our worthiness. And that was just a huge thing that I've been experiencing over this past week, just being able to receive that I'm worthy, being able to receive that, and being able to, because when we don't think that we're worthy, we're not able to receive the knowledge. We're not able to receive everything that God is like wanting to pour onto us because we don't feel worthy of it. So we block ourselves from being able to truly, fully receive everything that He wants to give us. We want to sabotage it because there's this thing within us that doesn't feel worthy of receiving the abundance that God is flowing into our lives. But that Spirit is working in our lives and is burning it away. And it's so awesome because I felt it, I experienced it, I saw it. Like it was a whole visual experience. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful that is what God can do for us. That's what He can bring us through to help us with all of these childhood things, with all these things that, and not just childhood, but life stuff that has just become stuck and trapped within us. It's His fire. Like I've never understood the fire of the Holy Spirit, but I'm getting it today, that it's that fire that burns away all that stuff that keeps us from being able to like stand fully in who we truly are. It's so awesome. I'm so grateful.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm so stuck in gratitude.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just so stuck in gratitude. There's been things happen in my life over the last week too where it's just not okay. Like it's not normal. It's not what people just say, no, that doesn't happen. So I just don't talk about it, but it happens, and it's happening, and it's like I'm just continuing to be grateful for what I already know is happening. There's I think we talked about it before, but looking forward with an eye of faith. If God promises something, then we don't have to sit around and wait for it to happen. It's already happened, whether we have the actual thing in our hands or not, or whatever it is. If there is a promise that God has given us, we can live as if we already have it because it's already been promised to us. So therefore, why worry about anything? Why sit around and be a victim of the past? I am thriving as a surviving victim, and I just love life. I love everybody. We've also said this isn't just something I do once a week on here for 35, 40 minutes. Right. I do this all day, every day. I wake up like 4 or 5. I do this all day long. I lay down and I'm asleep. It's just, there's so many things we can fill our minds with, so much knowledge we can fill our minds with, so much good, positive, just good stuff that we can do today, right now, and change our entire life. But it's not easy, but it is very simple. There's some very simple things that we can change to completely transform everything about us. And the person that's sitting here right now is just, I don't even know how to say it. I am just a very grateful person that is so in love with this world and see we are living in a time of just complete abundance, and it's beautiful. I love it. I'm grateful too. Life is
and
great.
anybody can have it. Like,
if you've seen us over the last year, we're a wreck.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, but I'm not. Today, and today has been going on for many todays.
Yeah,
My
right.
life is just so beautiful.
Yes.
And if you get into the details, people say, "Oh, Corey's faking that," because how could he be happy with all this going? Well, I just am, because I'm not attached to anything.
Yeah.
I know that God has my life, and I know how beautiful it is because He's shown me, and therefore I'm living in it.
I know. I have so much joy. I have so much joy in my life. It's so weird. It's like, how can I be sobbing, crying, going through painful stuff, having to like do all this inner work that sucks, but at the same time I'm so joyful. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful. It's just all getting out of me. And I sometimes wonder, okay, am I going to be in this forever? But no, because as it leaves, it's leaving, and I'm getting to the depths of stuff that I've just denied, that I just haven't my whole life ever looked at, and it's just coming up and out and leaving, and oh, it's so freeing.
You know what's a miracle? Over the last year that we've been doing this, you've never hit me in my face.
Right? Because my hands do. I'm a hands off.
You move for both of us. I felt it. You've come really close, but I'm happy. I'm probably going to get smacked now, but
I don't know. My arm kind of sticks right here.
No, it's perfect. I love it. Yeah, she's mentioned it a few times. I figured I'd throw that out there, but
yeah,
I love Dee. I love
handsy.
it. She's very animated. Oh, and I'm very loud. We're both loud in our own way.
Yeah, we are. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. I love y'all. I love life.
Thank y'all for watching
So
us.
grateful.
Like,
if you did.
exactly.
If not, well, I
great
just
too.
continue to grow. I love y'all.
Bye, y'all.